There. Hi there, Pastor Jesse here. And this is the second of three online sessions, videos being posted for the Lenten class, the series called Encountering God Through Parables. And so this week and next week, we'll finish up this class by viewing videos of the parables being told here online and reflecting on it and sharing those reflections and thoughts through the comment section. This first parable is actually called Rabbi Isaac of Krakow. The German Jewish philosopher and mystic Martin Buber tells the story of the good old Rabbi Isaac who lived on the poorer side of town. And this was in Krakow, the capital city of Poland. And Rabbi Isaac was a kind, genuine rabbi, and he had remained unbroken in his faith for many, many years, even though he went through lots and lots of afflictions. He was truly a pious servant of God in the world. One night, as the faithful Rabbi Isaac slept, he had a dream. And the voice in this dream told him to go make a journey, long journey, afar, to the Bohemian capital of Prague. And there, beneath the main bridge leading to the castle of the king, he would discover a hidden treasure, the greatest treasure of all time. More than, the greatest treasure, something more powerful than he could ever imagine. And when he awoke the next morning, Rabbi Isaac remembered his dream, but he didn't pay much attention to it. He just actually ignored it altogether. But the next two nights in a row, he had the exact same dream. And so after this third time having the dream, the old rabbi finally decided to heed it and go on this journey. So he packed up provisions for the road and set forth on his quest for the city of Prague. After many days on foot through some pretty difficult terrain, Rabbi Isaac finally arrived at this great city. Immediately, he noticed several sentries or guards positioned at the bridge leading to the king's castle. He was guarding it night and day. So they were guarding it night and day, so that, he couldn't just dig at the treasure without being noticed. There was people watching him all the time. So instead, the rabbi would return each and every morning and wait there around the bridge until about dusk. He would be looking at the bridge, watching the sentries, studying the masonry and the soil. And after a few days of observing this kind of behavior, the captain of the guards, a devout Christian, was struck by the old rabbi's persistence and eventually approached him and gently asked him, Rabbi, have you lost something? What's going on here? Are you waiting for someone to arrive? Why do you pace around here morning till night looking around like you do every day? So Rabbi Isaac proceeded to tell the captain simply and confidently about this recurring dream that he had about this greatest treasure that was to be found beneath the main bridge that goes to the king's castle. And so the captain just sort of stood back and laughed out loud at this. He's like, "Really, poor fellow? Have you worn out your shoes wandering all this way because of a dream? What sensible person would trust a dream? Why, if I had been one to go around trusting dreams, I should this very minute be doing exactly the opposite. Just last week, I had a silly dream like yours," the captain told him, "except that I dreamt of a voice that told me to leave Prague, to leave this wonderful city, and to journey to Krakow, of all places, to search there under the hearth and home of a Jewish rabbi named Isaac, for there I would find the greatest treasure buried in a dirty corner under his stove. Can you believe such nonsense?" And so the captain just laughed and laughed and laughed at the thought of this. But Rabbi Isaac's eyes began to to gleam slightly, and he opened them widely, and he bowed lowly and thanked the Christian captain who had been so friendly toward him, and he immediately had an insight. He hurried that several-day journey back home to the distant Krakow, where he dug beneath that neglected corner of his home where his stove is, and found there the greatest treasure of his entire life. Now that's the end of the parable. I invite you to put comments and reflections and ideas about this parable. How, what's going on in this parable? I'll be posting a few questions for your reflection on this. My own reflections are interesting. Both the rabbi and the captain resist the idea that they have to go out and go on a journey in order to seek that treasure. But one heeds the call while the other doesn't heed the call. I think, this speaks to our treasure being somewhere where we don't often look a whole lot, which is within our own selves. That tradition or that treasure lies within our own home, whether that home is our own mind, our own body, our own community or religion, or our own heart and being, whatever that might be. But it's really important for us to journey outward, to dialogue, to understand others and the world and what other people are going through. And then as we journey back home, we rediscover the gems in our own faith tradition, in our own culture, in our own home, whatever we consider home to be. So again, this is the parable for this week. I'm going to do one more week of this next week during Holy Week. So stay tuned and see you there. Again, remember to put comments and reflections and ideas in the comment section, and that way we can have an ongoing conversation. Even if we can't do it in person, we'll be able to do it online. Grace and peace to you. See you soon.